Is that might be a little better, huh? I talked for a little bit. That's weird. Can you hear the music in the background? Is it too loud or is it just barely there? Is it hearable but okay, like low? I was asking what you were painting, which I remember you're painting Eldar, but don't remember what model in particular with Eldar. Jeopardy board. What in the world? Is it like the actual game Jeopardy? Jeopardy? Ah. So what are the topics? Do you just make up on the spot or is there a set number of topics? Emil, not all the time. Sometimes yes, most of the times yes, sometimes no. So let me get this little bit and I can show you. But I do normally paint, sorry, I do normally mostly assemble them. So a great example is this guy. He is fully assembled, but he is not on his base. Because if he was on his base, it'd be very difficult to get to the cape in the back, especially between his legs. But without the cape, I'm sorry, without the base, I can get into that part. So I look whenever I assemble, I look to see how easy access a lot of things are. So again, the getting inside and between the legs would be a lot easier if I didn't have the base on them. Another one, hopefully I can put this back without looking. Here is with Commander Farsight. I'm not doing the arms because it could get in the way of the legs and stuff. So this is about as far as I'll get to assembling him. I'll make sure I put some painter's tape around the areas that I still need to glue. And that way when I base coat it, it will not get in that area, so I don't have to scrape it off. But this is about as far as I get with Farsight before I stop to be able to paint the areas around him easier. So it depends on the model, how far I go into gluing it together. Troops, like regular basic troop choices, more than likely I assemble all the way. Why? Because I don't want to. There's like 500 troops. I'm not going to paint them in great details. So they're always fully assembled, and then I just paint them as is, you know. Let's see, each host chooses their own topics. I choose stupid answers. Why you hate glowing tactical troops with gun paints without the glue after? Yes, I mean it all depends on how you paint. So me, I actually fully assembled Rabute Gilliman. So not exactly a smart idea, but then again, these things that I'm learning as I go along, I realize certain things are significantly harder to paint if they're fully assembled. But I was still able to paint Gilliman pretty good. I don't have my Gilliman with me because he's fully painted. He's he's in my gaming box, which is in the store. I have all my fully painted models in the store already, so I don't have to keep bringing them home and bringing them to the shop. Although I might do that pretty soon, though. Famous elves or types of elves from fantasy D&D spells. Spells. So all of them are done piece by piece. Oh no, sorry. Skelentron, when you start getting like so many models and stuff, you're gonna I think the best thing to do is basic infantry. Find a nice way to mass paint them because you're gonna have a lot of infantry. Characters is where you want to do your focus on where you don't fully assemble, hence why he's fully assembled because I can access all the parts relatively easy, even on his armpit and stuff. And mind you, a lot of areas are going to be hard to see if you can't see it yourself. But basic troops, basic like things that are generally going to be more than one model, maybe two or maybe three or more. You kind of want to find a way to paint them in mass, like a mass paint job. Whereas characters, there's where you may want to spend extra time, where maybe you don't want to do full assembly. Because otherwise you're going to be spending so much time painting and not playing, or you're going to start hating painting because it's so tedious. These I'm playing other baby. Our basic troops are halfway elite. I mean that is kind of true. But like this game right here, Infinity, you only have about 15 models at most. So technically, I could paint them all like special characters. I really like the paint job. I keep showing this guy off because he is so cool looking to me. If the thing will focus on him, I might switch out cameras because it just doesn't seem to want to autofocus. Maybe it's my thumb? I don't know. There we go. So somehow there we go. So like the blue looks really good, looks like metallic blue, but it's because the base coat is shining kind of through. I will say this: just don't glue them to paint. Don't glue paint. Don't glue paint on paint. Um, the I'll say this about the reason why. I think there are some people who will glue paint on paint. I won't because the glue is sticking to paint and to another paint, and that glue job then is only as strong as the paint holding on to the model. Again, if it's not a really high touch area, it might be okay. Again, all depends on what you want to do. Doing everything piece by piece, less efficient, but I like the full process. Okay, well, everyone is different. Me, I don't want to paint every individual models as characters because I have like so many. I have, hold on, hold on. I gotta bring this out. Where did I put this baby? Is this it? No, that's not it. Um, where the hell did I put it? I know I have it somewhere around here. Hmm. I can't seem to find it now. Hold on. Well, anyways, since I can't seem to find it, why can I not find it though? That's troublesome. Anyways, okay. So, I'm a bit disappointed because I do want to show you. I have a box that's full of Tau models. And that's not even half the army. It's quite mass. It's quite a big box. It's about 50 to 80 troops. And and no way I'm gonna sit there and paint in detail for those guys. So I found a technique that I absolutely love painting. It adds details to it as I paint already, so I don't have to worry about it. So kind of like this guy. I have about 80 of these guys, plus like including about 30 Pathfinders. That is way too many models to paint. As a matter of fact, I'm finding them over here. Hmm. I have so many Tau troops, I don't know how. And then that's not including Kroot. So when you have so many models like a horde army, it's all an individual. And depending on the time, it's like over time, like I think it's a great idea if you can paint your models like everyone individually and do it over a long period of time. But you're not going to have a lot of points because it takes a while to paint a model, in my opinion, at least for me, anyway. So these guys are very easy to paint. They're not they're not I guess difficult to access kind of areas. So I was able to fully assemble them and then paint them. So it wasn't that big of a deal for these particular models. But my God, I'm getting cross-eyed trying to look at this little tiny dot on this person's helmet. Probably need a magnifying glass would probably help here. Yeah, yeah, and I know your army right now is pretty small, so it can be done like that. But I know in my area, typical gameplay is 2,000 points. So, and then wanting to play another army on top of all of that, right away. And then on top of that, buying more models because some models got sucky and some models got good. So you end up just buying more and more models so that your army can be competitive, but you have to take time to assemble and paint them. So work at whatever pace you're comfortable with. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience that if you had to paint every single model like they're an individual character, I would absolutely hate it. Even though that's something I think would look really cool, but it's just not practical. Whew. Yeah, yeah. So I think so I wish I could show you like a fully painted, my fully painted Space Marine, which I do not have one fully painted, but it looks good enough and looks really good in my opinion. But it's easy to paint, so it's something I do for just basic troops because you're gonna have a lot of them. Looks like I'm gonna need like find a brush that's only one hair for these things. Building. Yeah, and that's good. Again, if you don't get bored or get how do I say um like you don't get tired of painting individual models, I think that's amazing, honestly. And then kind of like Kill Team, you only have like at most 15 models, and I think painting those as individual characters would be amazing. But again, when you're painting like 80 models, painting 80 models, how long does it take you to paint one model, Skeletron? Let me ask you that. Especially a character model. Because this is the thing that you have to kind of think about. So it's like that one model times 80. So if it takes you an hour to do one model, you're looking at 80 hours for just your infantry alone. Springs are elementary, so honestly, there's a level. Yeah. For me, like individual models, like troop choices, will take me about. Mind you, I paint in batches, so like I do like one large, like kind of like this. Since my army's roughly the same color, it makes it a lot easier. I can do batches because there's certain things that are very similar to these models that I use the same paint through all of them. So like the yellows, of course, the highlights, the black on the armor, the navy blue, not the navy blue, the Palethal blue on like lighter armor, armor underneath the heavier armor, and then these little weird hexagonal shapes. I'm gonna do purple because all of them have that similar style. I can paint them all like that. Just cause this one. You need to be playing games then, Skeletron. Which one is the paleo blue? This needs to be purple, actually, not blue. Yeah, exactly. And that's how you, I mean, obviously, with basic troops, when a lot of them being very similarly armored, you could do that. You could just grab, like for example, a yellow that's going to be on all of them anyway. You might as well paint them all yellow. It will speed up your paint job for sure. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, that's why I have like test models too. And this is something I learned about this too, is where yellow is supposed to be, where this is the first model I painted, thought yellow would make it stand out. Now I'm doing what's yellow on this guy, purple. So I made that change, and I'm gonna have to change it on him too. I mean, I don't really have a lot of test models. I should test certain paints out, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Now these models do take a lot longer than Space Marines because I am painting them somewhat of an individual basis. A little bit more detail and control with the paint as opposed to just kind of blending it, even though I am kind of doing that too. I'm not trying to take too much time in the painting, but enough to make it look good. Well, make sure you at least try to get all the hard areas that you can painted first. I don't know how steady your hand is and how much of varieties of brushes that you have, but just be aware of your skill limitation like mine. Even though I can kind of paint steady sometimes, my hands just shake like crazy eventually. Then especially painting these little tiny models, I get cross-eyed. Hey, we all start somewhere, man. You should have seen a few of my first model painted. Blob Marines, man. My first Space Marines were, I don't know exactly. Either Ultramarines or Blood Angels. But my favorite color is blue, so I went with Ultramarines. Then, amazingly, hey, hey, I guess so. Ain't nothing wrong with vanilla ice cream. Reboot kind of thinks like me, so that's the reason why I'm kind of glad that he kind of matches anyway. Yeah. I do feel sorry for other chapters though. Whenever like the amount of characters Ultramarines have and the amount of characters other chapters have, it's like, well, there's no competition. Why is that, Skellingtron? Make your argument, and I will destroy it. No, I mean, the sad. I think honestly, this is I believe one of the factors. It's just that most boys like the color blue. So and that perhaps is one of the reasons why Ultramarines are the face of the chapter. I mean, I think Crimson Fist was it in third edition, but they just never went along with that. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I don't think that's a big factor in whether they should be or shouldn't be the face of of 40K. That might be more of a negative, actually. Because you look at 40K as grim dark future, and you don't want people cuddling humans. It should be so disparaging that even within human society that people don't care about other humans, which is true with the Astra Militarum and their worlds, essentially. The unity is to believe of the Emperor and to willingly give your life up for the Emperor. That's the unity. Your life is worthless, throw it to the Emperor. Give it to the Emperor. Yep, pretty much there, Troy. Now go charging against that Corn Berserker. Most death in 40k is pretty quick, except for Dark Eldar. You better hope you pull that trigger quick enough. Now that's an interesting point there. Are there more deaths in battle in 40k? Or are there more deaths in hive worlds? Or factory worlds, I guess, would be the right thing. Or hive worlds too, I guess. Yeah, but you're only counting human population there. Now imagine all the other Xenos race, the Chaos, you know, they're also in fights, but they don't necessarily live in high worlds. Yes, most deaths in battle. But you know, I just brought that up to make my own point, to win the argument. I wasn't really counting, like, you know, whenever I said it generically thinking of humans. But I did say uh, most deaths in battle, not really meaning. Probably did intend to mean just humans, but now I don't. Well, yeah, you look at the what's there's a particular world where the rumors of Nids and orcs just a constant battle. Orcs die, repopulate, then Tyranids eat the orcs and repopulate. They're a little afraid that should one win, whoever wins that battle will destroy the worlds, will destroy the universe. I don't know how true that rumor is, but I've heard. Yeah, I heard it was a Inquisitor that did it, kind of diverted it into an orc world or orc hive or whatever, and now they're just like an infinite fight going on. Again, it's just rumors I've heard. So is that story true? There is a law chaos. Huh. Yes, Skeletron. I've not heard of that one, Troy. Is it an infinite world of fighting? Getting bigger and bigger and bigger until whoever wins is just gonna be terrible. Whoever wins, the world loses. Why was he considered a heretic for that? Man, I kind of want to grab my codexes and read that. Well, the Marine got warped. There, can't remember what character, unfortunately, was a little bad. Ah, I see, Troy. This is taking a lot longer, but again, these are like individual characters. I'm getting closer and closer to finishing them all off. I can't believe some of them have faces. Face, 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 face. No face, no face, no face, no face. And actually, he's showing skin. Oops, I can't see if that's on the screen or not. Yeah, he's showing skin, this guy. His arm is out. So even worse, more skin. More skin than just face. Alright, anyways, I do have to call it. I do still have work, sadly. I try to stream over there around 4 to 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to stream for at least an hour. Right now I'm painting my Infinity models. This is not all of them. These are the initial ones, and I still have quite a bit more to go. Not as much as 40k though. But I will be getting back to 40k because I have tanks that I've 3D printed that I need a base coat. And it's so cold that it is kind of hard to spray paint when it's super freezing cold outside. So I definitely have to wait until it's warmed up. So anyways, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, the sun down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.